Okay, so I want to tell you a story about how I manifested a free plane ticket to Vegas last summer and how it led to a new friendship and was really an incredible experience. So I was on a walk in the ravine it was probably June, I'm gonna guess. And I get this message from this woman who I barely know. We are Facebook friends, and she occasionally comments on my posts, and I really like her comments. I comment back, but that's all I know about her, is that she likes my comments. Her name's Natalie. And she had messaged me a couple days before and said, like, are you going to this event we have the same business coach online, so that's how we know each other. Are you going to this event? And how much are the plane tickets from Toronto to Vegas? And I hadn't written back. I don't know. I was going to, but I just was busy doing other things. So I hadn't written back. So she wrote back again and she said, the reason I'm asking is because I have these points, airline points, so I could help you out. I could help get you to Vegas, which was like totally shocking to me because I barely knew this woman. I knew that I liked her comments on my posts, but that's all that I knew about her. So we're in like Facebook Messenger going back, and I'm like, what? Oh my God, that's so generous. And we message back and forth. We decide to go for it and to do it. I like call her so I can give her my passport information, and she books me this free flight to this coaching workshop, Marketing to the Unconscious Mind workshop with our business coach that's happening in Vegas. And our shared business coach lives in Korea, so we don't usually get to see her in person, but she's coming to Vegas for this conference, and they're doing a pre-conference workshop on marketing to the subconscious mind. So it was pretty mind-blowing to me that this woman who I barely knew was like willing to give me her points, and I just had to pay, like, I think the taxes or something are not covered by the points, so I just had to pay a small amount. And on the phone, she said she already had a hotel room. She'd gotten one with a double bed because she hadn't thought she would have like a friend there, but like maybe she could switch it to 2 rooms, or we could share the double bed, or like it was probably like a king or something, not a double. And she's like, but is that weird? Do you want to get your own room? The hotel rooms were really cheap, I guess, because Vegas rooms are really cheap. And we decided to share the room. I don't know. All I knew about her was that she wrote these like nice comments on my Facebook post, but I liked her vibe. Based on the comments, I liked her vibe. So I decided to just kind of trust the universe and say, okay, let's share a room, and like whatever, if we have to share a king size bed, like it's not the end of the world. So she took a big risk reaching out to me, and then I took a big risk saying yes and sharing a room with like a near stranger. And the cool thing is that when we arrived there, we really hit it off. Like, we really got along. And she had been reading my Facebook posts. I post on Facebook like a lot, like 7 times a day, a lot. Just random, whatever thought passes through my brain, I just post it on Facebook. I learned this concept from that business coach who's from Korea, Simone Seol. You might have heard of her. She has a concept called the Garbage Post Challenge, where you try to do 100 posts in 30 days, and there's no, like, a post can be a sentence long. It doesn't have to be, super long. You just practice sharing about everything, not only sharing about your business, sharing about, like, oh my God, I had the best avocado toast ever, or like, yesterday I went to a professional women's hockey team game, and it was incredible. And yeah, maybe women's hockey doesn't directly impact my business, but I'm passionate about it, and maybe there are other women's sports fans that are going to want to hire me as a coach, even just because, like, that's going to help them see something about me or get to know me. So I was posting 7 times a day on Facebook. Natalie wasn't. So I didn't know much about her, but she knew all this random shit about me, because I would just share about the time that I burnt my soup, and I was like so pissed because I put so much time into it, and whatever random shit, I would share that. And so she got my vibe and decided, I want to have a friend at the workshop. Bryn is thinking about coming, because I'd been talking about on Facebook, me. I'm like, I want to come. I'm not sure. The prices of the flights are kind of expensive. I should have bought my flight a couple months ago. So that's why she reached out and said, like, hey, I have these points. So we arrived in Vegas. I shared an Uber with another woman who's in the same workshop, because our flights were arriving at the same time. And I went and I met Natalie, and she gave me the room key, and we went to the room and found the room. And she hadn't been able to get 2 separate beds, so we were stuck with this king bed. And then it was, like, obviously a honeymoon suite. There was, like, a mirror on the ceiling, and the shower was, like, glass, and it had, like, a curtain that would close, but it, like, didn't close 100%. So we're in this, like, super romantic room. We've never met before. We just know each other, like, from the internet. We had 1 phone call for me to give her the passport information. That's the only time we'd ever, like, talked. And we're in this romantic suite, and it just worked out really well somehow. Like, we went to the workshop, which was really great, and then every night, like, we would kind of do our own thing. Sometimes we would meet for dinner, sometimes we would be with other people for meals. And then usually we would meet in the room, like, later at, like, 9 or 10. And then we would just lie in bed and, like, talk until midnight. And then we were like, okay, we got to go to sleep because we got to wake up tomorrow for the workshop. So we just really hit it off, which was so cool. So how did I manifest this? What were the steps? What did I do? And what can you do if you want a free ticket to Vegas, or you want a plane ticket somewhere else, or you want free hockey tickets? Because I actually manifested some free hockey tickets yesterday, and it was a similar process. So I'm going to teach you how to manifest free, amazing, high quality shit. So I used to think about networking in this kind of corporate, stuffy boardroom kind of way. My first job out of university was working for a nonprofit, a legal nonprofit. And so we would go to these networking events in boardrooms, or sometimes in a, like, beautiful library too, like a wine and cheese type thing. And everyone would be in a suit, and you would have to go talk to people who you didn't really like, but who were judges or lawyers, or, like, I met Bob Ray at one of these events, like semi-famous politicians, and chat with them and try to make connections. And so that was my concept of networking. It's like, going to stuffy places, talking to boring people, and trying to charm them, win them over, get them to like me, get them to want to volunteer for my project or give a donation to my nonprofit or whatever. And it was very draining. I hated these networking events, and I would end up standing and chatting with like the other staff from the nonprofit who are my friends, and like not wanting to go talk to strangers because I was like, ugh, it wasn't my thing. Lawyers, I mean, God bless all the lawyers, but those are not really my people. And so I would just feel super drained by these experiences. And so when I started building my business, that's what I thought networking was. I thought I had to go to places I didn't like with fluorescent overhead lighting, with people I didn't like, and force myself to talk to the people. I thought that's what networking was. And what I'm learning is that networking is something completely different, especially if you own your own business or if you're part of an organization that is like completely true to your heart. So networking for me now is kind of like, I see it as the mycelial networks. So if you don't know, mycelium are like the tendrils of mushrooms, and they're underneath the ground almost in every forest on Earth. There are kilometers and kilometers, miles and miles of these mycelial networks that connect the trees to each other. And then when the conditions are perfect, little mushrooms pop up. But even in the places where you're not seeing any mushrooms, there's all these it's like going triaxle, it's like going in multiple directions at once, these mycelial networks, and they actually help the trees communicate to other trees. They can take resources from one tree and feed another tree, give resources to a tree who needs more food. And it's this incredible network, and it stretches out in multiple directions, and it doesn't really care what it hits. And when it hits like a rock, it doesn't worry about it, it just goes around. And so networking in this like feminist networking, ecological minded networking is, I see it just as letting your essence, your energy, your heart, exactly who you are, out in all these different directions, and not worrying really about who it hits. Not, like I go to all these networking events, and I've gone to a number of events in Toronto where it's like the people come up to you and they're like pitching hard right away, and it's like, whoa, I barely know your name, and they're already some of them are networking events for women, and they're already like, so I had this challenge with, I had psoriasis on my skin, and then I found this product that really helps with psoriasis, and now I want everyone who has ever had skin problems to use this product because it's a miracle product. And it's like, it's unnatural. I just met you. Maybe if I ask you a certain question, you could tell me that story, but it's almost like they've learned this is the origin story, and they just hit you with it as soon as you start talking. And you could just feel it's extractive. They want something. So mycelium, these mushroom little filaments underground, they don't necessarily want anything. They don't really know what tree they're going to hit. They're just going out and they're just being themselves. And so for networking, the feminist way is to just be yourself. Just talk. If you're at a networking event, first of all, go to networking events that feel like home to you, that you feel excited about, that you like the people there, that you like. The environment matters, right? Like, you don't want overhead fluorescent lighting. Like, go to networking events in a cozy bar or in a living room or somewhere in the forest. I actually thought about like trying to network by like pulling invasive species in the ravine near me, because I love that ravine. I love being in that ravine, and there's a group that pulls invasive species every Tuesday morning, and I was like, maybe I'll join that group, because then I'm just in the ravine. Even if I don't meet anyone, I'm gonna feel at peace because I love the energy of the forest. And I'll probably chat, and who knows, maybe one of those people will be my client one day, or they'll want to fly me to Vegas for free one day. So it's going out, and it's also like this garbage pitch challenge or garbage post challenge concept from Simone Seol of like, just post what you ate for breakfast and what you're thinking about the tariffs and what you're doing this weekend and what you're grumpy about and what you're excited about. Just share all of that shit, because people get to know you when you share your shit. And like, literally, I saved hundreds of dollars on a plane ticket. The plane ticket, if I had bought it, I think would be $600, $700, $800, depending on, you know, like whether it was direct or whatever. And I got it for free because I ranted. I did my feminist rant, and I talked about the mistakes that I was making, and I talked about the movies I was watching, and Natalie got to know me and trusted me and wanted me at this workshop, and so helped me get there. So just put yourself out there. Just be yourself. And I love the concept. I created the concept of slow networking. So you're not trying to get the sale right away. Like, I don't know, it doesn't work for me. Maybe it works for some bro dudes, but like, the people who buy from me usually get to know me first, and then they're the best clients ever when they know me and they know what I'm about, and then they decide to work with me. It's a joy. It's a joy to have them as my clients. It's a joy to work with them because they feel my vibe. And the first time they DM me or the first time they walk up to me in a networking event, I'm not selling. I'm selling them on my energy by just being myself and talking about whatever topic I'm excited about at that time. And if they are repelled, God bless them. I don't want to work with people who are repelled by the things that I'm excited about. And if they are drawn, amazing. And some of them are drawn. So take the time to get to know something. And actually, advice I got from one of the development coaches at Coralus, which is a female non-binary business incubator, is to go to networking events. Go to the same event again and again and again. Don't go to this one, then this one, then this one, and you only go once every 3 months and you barely get to know the people. Instead, choose your favorite one, go every week. Then you build those deep connections. People get to know you, and then they're going to refer you, or they're going to decide to hire you, or they're going to decide to buy you a plane ticket. So I wanted to tell you this story because March 20th, 21st, 22nd, I'm running a Feminist Millionaires training. It's 100% free. I was thinking about charging $100 for it, but I decided to make it free, in part because shit is hitting the fan right now, politically and on a, economically in some ways. And I think one of the solutions to that is having more feminist millionaires. And in this training, you're going to learn how to manifest money in particular. So manifesting plane tickets is amazing, and I love that I got to do that. And manifesting money is also pretty fun too. Then you can buy the plane ticket to wherever you want. So we're going to do this over 3 days. Day 1 is all about somatic. So it's about processing old childhood shit in the body that has led to procrastination, or that is leading you to burnout, or that makes you feel super anxious when you think about, when I say I post 7 times on a day on Facebook, you like feel like you're gonna die and that you could never do that, which, by the way, I also had those thoughts when I started. So we're gonna look at, okay, where does that anxiety come from? If you are terrified to post on Facebook once, or go on TikTok Live, or record a podcast, we want to look at, why is your body creating that anxiety? Process the anxiety in the body, and also get to the root cause of it so that you can heal, so that you feel less anxious. We never get rid of anxiety, okay? And we don't want to. It's part of the fight, flight, freeze system that keeps us alive. If there's a fire or a bear or a person with a knife, I want fear and anger to take over my brain and body so I can keep myself alive and keep myself safe. So you never get rid of it completely, but if we heal some of those root causes, something like going on TikTok Live, where you're not gonna die if you go on TikTok Live. The first time I went on Facebook Live, I thought I was gonna die for sure. It was before TikTok even existed, and no one watched. There was literally nobody there, and I felt like death, and I felt like I didn't say the right things, and not a lot of people saw that video, but I didn't die, and I kept practicing, and now I've got to a point where I can go on TikTok Live or record a podcast or whatever, and I don't go into fight or flight anymore, because I've done it enough times that my nervous system knows, oh, this is safe. We've done this before. We didn't die last time. We're probably not going to die this time, which is why I can be more natural and chill in these environments. So this somatic work, I've been doing somatic work now for, I don't even know, probably 8 years on myself, through my training and then just doing my own personal work. And it really has reduced my anxiety in a lot of areas, including social media, talking about myself, being authentic, being vulnerable, being weird and witchy, which I am weird and witchy. So the somatic work is going to help you heal the stuff that's holding you back from earning the money that you're meant to earn. Day 2 is KINK based tools, like peeing on your credit card, like whipping money, like putting money on your heart, putting cash on your heart, and surrendering and sending love. So some of them are more dom, some of them are more sub, the tools, but they can really accelerate the healing of money blocks. As a kid, I had to people please my parents to get my needs met. So as an adult, I people pleased my bosses, and then I people pleased my clients, and then I people pleased my bank account and my budget. And for me, peeing on money really shifted that power dynamic. It put me back into a place of power. And actually, after I did that, was the first time I went viral on TikTok. So shifting into this place of power and agency has really changed my relationship with budgeting, my business, investing in my business, investing in myself, and has helped me earn more money more easily from this practice. So it might not be the right tool for you. You're going to learn probably like 8, maybe even 10 different KINK tools, different options, and the one that gives you tingles, the one that lights you up, that's the one that I would recommend that you try, and that's gonna heal your relationship and help you earn more money. The last day of this 3-day free training is on ChatGPT making more money, healing old shit, healing the procrastination and blocks can also happen through ChatGPT. You kind of need both. You need the somatic, deeper work, but then also sometimes you just need a little hit from a little robot to help you figure out what's going on and help you move forward. And then also how to use ChatGPT to accelerate this mycelial network going out, because once you've found your voice, you can use ChatGPT to replicate it and accelerate it. So you're going to learn, how to write a quick sales page using ChatGPT, and you're also going to learn how to figure out why you're procrastinating. I'm going to give you exact prompts that you can put into chat and that are going to help you heal the shit that's in the way, and then also create a bigger impact, because I just got an email back from a pre-conference workshop that I applied to, and I've been shortlisted, which is very exciting. And that proposal, they asked for a conference proposal or something, and I was like, I don't know what that is. And ChatGPT helped me write it, and then obviously I edited it to make sure that it was correct, but having something write the first draft really reduces the cognitive load, and you're going to be so much more effective. You're going to get so much more done, but feel not as drained when you get these prompts and use these tools. So come to the Feminist Millionaires training. There's a link in my bio. There will be a link in the description of the podcast, and you can sign up. You will get all 3 days for free. If you cannot join us live, you will get the recordings for free. And it's gonna be super fun, super powerful. So even if you can't make those times, even if that's a busy weekend, I really urge you to join, because I don't think I've ever run a 3-day free workshop before. I'm not sure when I'm going to run it again. Come live if you can, because then you get your questions answered directly. You're going to have opportunities to get coached directly on your problem. So come live if you can. Grab the recordings if you can't. Sign up now, and I can't wait for you to build more wealth so you can take good care of yourself, take good care of your loved ones, and then use your surplus income to make the world a better place, to fight all the political bullshit that's happening, to protect causes that you care about. Okay, love you all. Bye.